All right, welcome to Rock Vegas, everybody. This is Glenn Rockney. Should I even introduce this guy? He was just here like 2 episodes ago, but it's Matt Fallon, Silver and Black today. Raider Ramble. What's going on, dude?
Oh, not much, man. I was gonna do the Stephen A. Smith. I'm having a very bad day.
Yeah, so I'm Skip. Okay, I'll be Skip today. That's fine. But yeah, no,
it's my worst day.
Yeah, it's week 16, the end of week 16, which is probably the worst time to ever be a Raider fan is week 16. If you were to pick a bad week of all the numbered weeks in the season, I'd say week 16 is the worst one to be a Raider fan.
Lately, yes, I would say arguably week 1, because I remember as a kid being so excited about like Jabril Wilson,
yes.
And then week 1 you just get trampled and all your hopes go out the window, and I kind of actually that was almost more enjoyable.
It was this is way worse.
This feels like shit, dude. I mean, my wife is like, why are you so upset about football? And I'm like sad and but you know what, these guys, they tweet to fans and tell them that, they can't do what they do, whatever.
That's correct. I can't, but
no, I can't, but you know what I can, do? Lose.
I'd be great at that personally.
Dude,
I get paid a lot less to lose in my regular life. I'll tell you that much.
I was telling, if I could do John Gruden's job, I guarantee you I can coach a football. I can win one game. I could win one game.
You can game plan for the whole week.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I don't think I could do that.
I would beat Anthony Lynn.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that you said Anthony Lynn, I got you there because nonetheless, the Raiders lose 26-25. It's the first time that scores ever exist, I think, which is awesome. I love being a part of that as a Raider fan.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, it's always them.
Both teams couldn't make get out of the red zone. They're just,
No, it was bad. It was bad. It was a bad loss. It was just another classic. The blown coverages. The blown coverages to end games. How many of those have been this year where it's just like the Travis Kelce, Jonathan Abram leaving his zone, Damon Arnett covering the flat where nobody is on cover 2. You don't run cover 2, but you also, play back. You know what I mean? As a corner.
I mean, also who cares about the flat?
That's what I mean. Exactly.
It's exactly. That's the thing is, I think that's where all of the conversations that we have about this team. Now during the off season, after the games, it all links back to a few topics that it's all one big topic. And it's that you need better fucking execution. Either you need a better game plan or if it's in week 16 and your team is not executing your game plan fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's not the players.
Yeah.
Yes, to a degree it is. In week 1, you got all these rookies, they haven't had an OTA, they blew a coverage against the Panthers that we almost lost, but the Raiders offense made up for it. But okay, cool. Rookie mistake. You know what I mean? But I mean, dude, it's week 16. You got guys making mistakes in week 16 that you make during the preseason game 4. You just decide I'm going to the Abram blown coverage against Kelce was one of the worst plays I've ever seen. Ever. And then Arnett, one of the worst plays I've ever seen. You could give up 15 yards.
Yeah.
You can give up 30.
Yeah, and that's something where I laugh. You say it's a rookie mistake, but I'm like, okay, that wasn't the case in college, right? If in college it's the same concept, you can't give up that much. That's how football is played. That's like being a baseball player and just be like, I ran to second from third base because I thought that's how we do it in the major leagues. No, it's the exact same thing.
I had a coach and I was a baseball player. I didn't play football.
Me too.
Which these Twitter, people will be like, well, you never played. You can't talk about it.
You just fucked yourself up with that one. Jesus.
There's plenty of fucking coaches in the league, plenty of front office people that have never played a down of football. And, generally speaking, you have to know somebody in that league to get a coaching job as Paul Gunther. If Paul Gunther wouldn't have had that, if he didn't know John Gruden, he would have got fired last year in the middle of the season. So, yeah. I think that one thing about this team is that makes it frustrating is they've been in position to win a lot of these games lately. The Colts game, there was a couple plays that just twisted it, and it went from every loss this season minus Atlanta. The Raiders,
even Atlanta, if you actually looked in the first half of that game, there were moments where they probably could have at least Made it a
made
close
it
game.
close. Yeah. And so like in the third quarter of every game though, this year, the Raiders were within one score. I mean, I might be wrong on that, but it seems that
maybe
way.
off on a couple, but yeah, it
like
was
you know what I mean. Like I don't know if I am though.
no.
Like Tampa, they were within one score.
Yeah.
New England, they were within one score. And
yeah,
then
they had that great drive before that.
It just implodes, dude. And what that is yes, it's a young team, but you're only as good as your leader. And like I don't see it right now. These guys they get done with the game, they start tweeting. You know, it's like you get on Twitter to tweet stuff and you know whatever. I just don't get it. I'm like, you know, you don't see like it. You know, I don't know. It's not. I don't want to say he's lost a locker room, but it's not the beginning of the season. The team was playing with heart and passion, and it's like they just completely are okay with losing, and that shit pisses me off. Like, you know, like, oh, you should be happy we beat the Jets. Like that coming out of my quarterback's mouth is the most ridiculous statement.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if the Jets make a defensive coordinator change the week prior, the Raiders don't beat the fucking Jets.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many things that piss you off, and it's like it's just a constant like sorrow, dude. Like it's just this cloud of darkness with this team, and it's like it's hard to get excited about anything because you know it's like okay, whatever I'm excited about is probably not going to work out, and that's pretty much the conclusion I've come to. Is like, you know, okay, we signed Corey Littleton. Okay, we're going to play him, you know, not correctly. Mm-hmm. And he's going to just all of a sudden forget how to tackle. Because like he said it in week 3. He said, I can only do what I'm being told.
Yeah.
You know, and they're playing him like the Rams played him to his strengths. Like if you watch the tape on it, Corey Littleton has been like playing this weird, like almost like rover type linebacker. Like he's like covering the tight end, but he's in a zone. He's good on man-to-man coverage, man.
I thought he did a nice job under the Marinelli last week. I thought he played really well.
He had his best game of the year last week, but I'm saying, you know, he's not like a zone linebacker that you can just like plop into this little area. He's a man-to-man guy, and he was like the best linebacker in man-to-man last year. And you don't use him that way. You just decide like put him on Travis Kelce not necessarily, you know what I mean, but. Like Travis Kelce's going to make anybody look stupid, but like they put him on Gesicki a couple times and he was right there, you know, and it's like, and then like, you know, like just there's more example after example of these guys being put in a position that isn't going to make them succeed. Like you draft Cleveland Farrell number 4. We talked about it last time. Not his fault.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he got drafted too high, but then you keep moving him in and moving him out, moving him in, moving him out. And you know, these guys just they don't get the opportunity to succeed, and it sucks.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will say is, I'm scared that Marinelli still gets the job next year, but I do think that at least Marinelli understood a little bit more of like the personnel more than Gunther did, where he had Abram roving the line of scrimmage. You're going to play the line of scrimmage. We're going to have guys covering behind you, and I'm going to let you just see the ball and hit the fucking ball. It's another baseball term.
I think he was going to get it until the last play of the game. Like I think Gruden's like he likes like that's Gruden that he's not gonna he's not gonna rehire that guy after that play.
No, I don't think so either. And maybe that's a blessing, honestly.
If they won that game versus Miami, he's your next defensive coordinator. I guarantee it.
Yeah, perhaps, but also like okay, here's the thing. I've heard for a lot of people, and I'll get into the little card debate with you later. But there's people saying like, oh, the defense had a good game. The defense had a good game against Tua.
They had a good game. For the Raiders.
And against a quarterback who, what was his longest throw of the day? His longest, that's right.
Yards?
Yeah, it was nothing. He was like.
The moment they take him out, they score twice.
Fitzpatrick rips off the Letterman jacket off the sideline, just, I'm going to fuck these guys up. But I'm like, damn it, dude. The minute I saw him, I'm like, this is bullshit. This is terrible. You can look at the time. I tweeted, I'm like, I'm scared. I'm fucking scared of this guy.
But I'm gonna say something else too. Like the Raiders, like it keeps getting boiled down to one play because you keep losing by one play. Okay. Like you keep losing by one play. Like if you made a stop, you know, with 19 seconds left, you win. If you went for a touchdown instead of a field goal against the Chargers, you probably win. Right. Like there's all these, but what it boils down to is like this Miami game. I was telling my wife, I'm like, dude, this should be a blowout right now. Like we're not better than Miami. I think actually, like if we played Miami when we were playing in the beginning of the season, we would have kicked their ass. Yeah. But you settled for 4 field goals in the red zone. Like, you know, the offense was moving the entire game. Like they couldn't stop the Raiders.
No.
And then you get to the red zone and you're your choices of plays or fades to Jason Witten, and like,
double
it's just
jerks. They run double jerks. They ran double jerks every time. Always hit up Marcus Johnson. I go, that was double jerks, wasn't it? He goes, yeah, it sure was. And it's like, how do I know this shit, dude?
Every time.
Yeah, and it's like
every time.
And the throwaways, right? They're like, oh, he threw it away on third down. Do you want him to throw a fucking pick? I'm just
saying,
I
don't like. Yeah, my thing is I don't blame Derek Carr for the throwaways, and I never
only on fourth down. I will on fourth down, but not third down. Never.
I never said one word about the throwaways because I said it last time. I don't think there's two things. I think Gruden is the most to blame. Like, and it's because he runs the offense and he doesn't. I think Gruden would be amazing as an offensive coordinator.
Oh yeah,
and I think he would be pretty good as a head coach. And I think he has too much on his plate. He's trying to make these decisions like in a game. I don't know. He's got so much going on in his head. I think like he outsmarts himself. And like, here's my thing, dude. Like Darren Waller is uncoverable the entire game. Like, 3 games in a row, Darren Waller has been nobody. They don't have anybody on their roster that can cover him.
Not one-on-one, at least. Yeah.
Not one-on-one. So then instead of like throwing a slant to Darren Waller in the end zone or a post or like anything, do a fucking tight end screen.
Hand him the ball.
Hand him the ball.
And Henry Ruggs the ball.
The Lions have run a jet sweep to Hawkinson like 3 times this year when I've been watching.
Yeah.
And one time he fumbled, but like he got the first down. And like it's like if you need like 3 yards, just hand the ball off to Waller. Like what happened?
I would respect the creativity even if it didn't work. Yeah.
What about handing it to Ingold? Like we stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And like I think it's probably has a lot to do. He's been like banged up, but like there's just like a lot of different things, man. Like your 2 best players are Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller on offense. Okay.
Yeah.
Your best skill players.
They did an awesome play. I don't know if you remember it, and it wasn't in the red zone, but it was week 1, and it was the way I thought Henry Ruggs should have always been used. Just dump it off to him, let him run. Remember that play where they had him lined up in the backfield and they pitched it to him like on an option play against Carolina? And I'm like, in the red zone, I know maybe the defense cheats on it when they see him in the backfield, but I swear to God, dude, you could do so many things if you make that.
Yeah, he could throw it.
You could throw it. You could fake that, pitch it to hand it to Jacobs, like up the middle, just something where it's like, but I can tell the fucking play. I can call them out. And I played baseball growing up. I didn't play football. Like I'm saying, these guys get paid millions of dollars to stop you. You think they can't figure it out?
Well, were you, I go to restaurants. I didn't go to cooking school. So,
yeah,
that's always my argument is you don't have, to be an expert on something like, food critics. They were never not a lot of them weren't chefs growing. Like they've never been a chef before. Like movie critics, right? They've never directed their own movie.
Correct.
But they can still critique the movie.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith didn't play fucking pro sports.
Yeah. So like that's a whole like you could do a whole 2-hour rant on that. But I think like what it boils down to is I don't know why, but when the Raiders get inside the 20-yard line, they lose 100% lose their creativity. Like I've been so happy with the way Gruden's run the offense this year. Like he's been more creative than I actually ever thought he would be.
Especially this last game. I thought it was fantastic last game, the way they started out on offense.
Yeah. He's doing deep routes and he's got, Ruggs in motion, taking the defense with him. He's got, the play that he ran. This is the one that really pissed me off. And it pissed a lot of people off is he's ran 2 plays that I absolutely loved. That I've seen replays of this week. The one screen to Witten, did you saw it in the Kansas City game? Yeah. It was a good play design. And last season, Waller, or maybe it was 2 years ago. Last year versus the Broncos, he got like 80 yards on a screen, the same play.
That was the one from Moreau against the Bears. Remember on 4th down? They ran that play with Foster Moreau last year, and Moreau's by himself on that 4th and 1. It's the same play.
If you run that play with anybody else, Moreau, Carrier, fucking Derek Carrier would gain 50 yards on
Lee
that.
Smith. Bring me Lee Smith.
Lee Smith would come on, dude.
Lee Smith.
And then the play last week, I think Mark shared it, and he's going, he fakes blocking and he peels out, and he's wide open. If it was anybody, it was a good throw. Carr throws it to the pylon, and it's 10 yards overthrown because Witten cannot get there.
Because he's got a pull start. Nobody pulled the pull start fucking lawnmower on him.
It was a good play design, and like people, the thing is I think a lot of like Raider fans forget that Carr was hurt. Like they're like in their heads, and I think there was a lot of plays left on the field because of that. Like where like if Mariota played, he probably would have got a first down, but you just never know, dude. There's some throws Carr makes that Mariota can't make.
A lot. I'm sorry.
A lot.
People not, hype the Mariota fucking throw. Dude, he had 76 TDs to 44 picks in his career, dude.
I'm not a Mariota guy. Dude.
No.
Like, I don't think Mariota's better than Carr. And I was telling somebody today, I think Carr's like the 12th to 14th best quarterback in football. And that's fine. Most of the time, you're going to win some football games that way. And like, he plays some games where he's top 5. Like, he plays a game where you're like, wow, he made every throw.
Both Kansas City games this year.
Yeah. You should win some freaking games that way. And so, like, as far as the list of Raiders problems go, Derek Carr is not even in my top 10. So, like, I mean, like, I know I say shit all the time, and like, I was
gonna ask you, man. You brought up Mitch Trubisky today.
That's more me trolling, but it's also true.
All right.
But it's also true.
Mitch Trubisky doesn't fit anyone's offense.
I know.
But he fucking sucks.
He's bad. Yeah, he's actually been balling out the last.
He's still, dude. I watched that game because I had a wager on it, and they covered. But he threw I think he threw 2 red zone picks, and I'm like, dude, the thing I have with Carr is like I'm not a fucking stan or anything like that. But this year he's done enough shit. Like, it's not just a carbon copy of last year, like people are saying it is. One, he played well at Arrowhead this year. I understand there's no crowd, but still, I mean, fuck. And then 2, like, it's just better. It just looks better this year to me. I don't know. Look at the way they lost last year. They lost the same type of shitty game like Jacksonville, right? They lost that Jacksonville game. The offense stunk in that game.
Miami's better.
Miami's better, and the offense did not stink against Miami. You know what I mean? It stunk against Jacksonville. It was like unwatchable. You know, so I'm like, I saw enough to be like, because I'm scared. I'm scared of John Gruden picking the next quarterback. That's what I'm scared of.
Well, that's what my thought process is as well. Like, I have a little bit of a distaste for Carr for various reasons. Number one, I think it has this following culty fan base that is not fans of the Raiders. Like, as the moment that Mariota, like, the Raiders lost, all the tweets start coming out how like Derek Carr would have won that game. Well, guess what? He had that game this week.
Yeah.
I think Derek Carr would have won if Gruden let the Raiders score a touchdown at the end. Also, your defense shouldn't give up a 45-yard touchdown, but
and a face
45 yards and all that crap, there was no touchdown, but you know what I mean?
Got it.
I'm saying, so there's various reasons why the Raiders lost, and it wasn't Derek Carr. And I think the same could be said for the week before. There's various reasons why they lost, and it wasn't Marcus Mariota. And that's my problem is that
I agree. Yeah.
You have these Carr haters that can't admit anything. Like, they're like, like Carr had a bad game. Like, in the beginning of the year, I was giving Carr all kinds of praise. Every week, I'm like, this is the best I've ever seen him play. Mm-hmm. He has a bad game, I'm going to say it. So, like, this week, I've been doing a little more trolling than I have been this year. I've been a little way better than I was last year. But
we're working out some sadness. I don't
like his brothers, dude. I'm like, these guys,
didn't they go at you?
Well, like, dude, like, yeah. I mean, like,
that's funny.
You got the one brother that has never played, a pro sport in his life, just like me. He coaches a high school football team, and he's always, going at it with fans. He calls Mahomes mediocre, and it's just like, like, if you like, and then David Carr gets on NFL Network and like, picks the Raiders for everything, picks Derek Carr for MVP. Like, it's fine. It's your brother, okay. Like, Jeff Schwartz does the same thing with Mitchell Schwartz, they all, but it just goes back to my thing where when your team is good and your players are good, your families and you aren't on Twitter arguing with Matt Fallon.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do you give a shit what I say? I'm sitting at my freaking 7 to 5 job. You know what I mean? Go home, play pool basketball, be happy with your family. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But, it's like, you can't say anything like, oh man, that was a bad throw. That's all I said. That was bad
crazy. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I've always seen that for a long time. I've been on Twitter for a long time, but I haven't really been like active until really this year. And like, I always saw that stuff, but to me, I tried to look at it from a way where I'm like, dude, I don't want to, because I hate getting lumped in with the guys who are like insane, you know what I mean? Like tagging the Carr brothers and shit just for defending them. Because all I'm saying is like, man, I'm just, if we had, so people this week have been making the comparison, Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, it wasn't just that. I'm sorry. Like
first off, Carr's better than Smith was.
Yeah, true. And I like Alex Smith, but here's the thing.
And second, Mahomes isn't going to get in there.
Yeah, Andy Reid's not my coach, so I don't trust this new there's like 5 quarterbacks that could fit Gruden's system right now. I'm just telling you right now. Like I don't know if any of the college guys do. They don't play under center. Like I don't know if any of these guys do. I'm just working with what we got. Who's Kansas City's GM? I can't remember what his name is. Like Brett Veach?
Veach. Yeah.
Brett Veach. Those are 2 ballers. I trust those guys to go find a new quarterback. Obviously, look, they hit a super fucking home run with Mahomes, and maybe that's not what happens. I'd be totally down to upgrade that position. I just don't think the infrastructure is there within the organization, and I'm scared to take a step back. And even if you do find that good quarterback, I'm scared of a Deshaun Watson situation.
That roster was better than ours. The front office better than ours. Coaching staff better than ours. So, but I'm on. I see both sides. Like I don't want to. You don't stick with Carr to go 7-9 every year just because you're scared of.
But is that why you go 7-9 every year? I don't think it is.
I don't think so. I'm telling you, like if I had to choose, like right now, okay, Derek Carr and a new coach.
Yeah, well,
or Gruden, you know what I mean? But or Gruden and a new quarterback, I'm choosing the first one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think we've seen Carr succeed. I don't think that. I'm a little upset with Gruden this week. So like the reason I'm so mad is I thought he was coaching his ass off for so long. Like this team was playing great and like he was coaching. Like I was just proud that he was coaching so well. And it's just like he's gone back to the old school Gruden thing where it's like he's stubborn. We talked about it before. Like I don't know how much say Mike Mayock actually has.
I think there's a couple picks that he did have say in it. I think that the problem is I don't know if they want to make those work. I think like Mike goes, here, John, I got you this good player. And he's like, okay, I'm going to have him do this. I'm going to have Lynn Bowden. I'm going to have him play running back and picking up blitzes. It's like, well, he doesn't do that. He played quarterback last year. They're like, oh, okay. But that's what he's going to do for my team because I'm like some brainiac. It's ego. It's forcing guys into positions they do it on defense too with LaMarcus Joyner. I don't know how much Gruden has any say in that. I hope he doesn't have any say. And I hope that he's just able to just transfer the car to a better driver, no pun intended, with the defensive coordinator. But I do think it's a huge ego thing with him. And that's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of him just going like, I'm in love with this quarterback. And I don't think it's going to be anybody in the draft. That's the thing. It's going to be some fucking veteran.
I think he's going to, I think there is like, I think he's going to, I think he's going to fall in love with Kyle Trask, dude.
I don't, yeah, that would be the guy.
I don't know, dude.
That would be the guy.
I don't think, but my thing is like, okay, yes. Okay. So I just don't like the whole Carr hater, Carr stand thing. Okay. Because I think you could be both. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's the quarterback of the Raiders. I want him to succeed. Okay. I don't think he's like, I don't think he's a quarterback that can make up for the coaching deficiencies and the lack of talent deficiencies. Like if you put Mahomes on the Raiders this year, right? If you put Mahomes on the Raiders, they're probably 10-6.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure,
but he's the best quarterback in football by a long mark. Like he's good.
Not even. You'd have to give me somebody a little bit more replacement value with Carr though, if you were going to make this argument.
No. But my argument is that there's like out of the 32 quarterbacks in football, there's maybe like 4 that could have had a better win-loss record this season.
Correct. Yeah. Wilson. Okay. I would say Wilson, Rodgers, Mahomes, and
Allen.
Yeah,
but okay. I don't think.
But I don't know if you take Josh Allen away from Brian Dable. I don't know if it's the same. I don't think if he's running.
And that team's stacked.
Yeah,
like that team's got talent up and down that roster. So, and that's it. It's like I was getting another little Twitter argument a couple days ago about this. Somebody was saying how they like the roster and and well, we just lack depth. We know why we lack depth is that our draft sucked. Okay, your draft picks, like when you draft these guys rounds 1 through 7, say you don't have any extra picks. Well, we did. So you have 5 first rounders in 2 years.
Yeah,
and you're getting contributions from like 1.
Yeah, the least valuable position.
And he's a running back. Yeah. And don't get me started on that. I was arguing with people all day yesterday about that.
Yeah,
it's like James Robinson's undrafted, and he's the 5th best running back in football this season. So it's
I saw Jeff Wilson Jr. do exactly what Raheem Mostert did. It was like the same player. I was like,
exactly. And I don't think you don't need to invest and what round does Raheem Mostert drafted in?
Both of those guys are undrafted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I love Josh Jacobs, and I think he brings a lot to the table. And it's a pick that like you make if you're the Kansas City Chiefs and you just won the Super Bowl. And you saw like Clyde Edwards hasn't done
even then, I think they fucked up. I was happy when they made that pick. I said, good, get her fucking running back. I don't give a shit where I'll get pissed off. But then even then I was like, wow, I didn't want them to get Christian Fulton was the guy at the time. I was like, fuck, I hope they don't get Christian Fulton. And so they end up getting L'Jarius Sneed though, because they're such a fucking beast at drafting. They get L'Jarius Sneed in like the 5th round or something like that. Beast. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, he's better than any corner on our team. You're like,
yeah, so I've been diving into the draft a little more because now it's definitely draft.
Well, hold on, let me talk to you about Henry Ruggs because I don't want to forget about that. We were going to talk about that.
Henry Ruggs, yeah.
Henry Ruggs. So Gruden's comments the other day kind of pissed me off about that.
It pissed me off too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Henry Ruggs, I don't think he's had a good rookie season. I think he has not made the most of his targets. I think he should get more, and I think he should be more high percentage ones. So I think both those things are true. It's another argument I see where I think both people are right. And nobody wants to blame Gruden for it. It's either Carr can't fucking hit him, which I'm sorry, he's had a few fucking balls hit him in his hands that he dropped. Fumble.
It's that, or it's like he can't get separation. Those are the arguments.
Which both of those aren't true. Both of those are untrue. Yeah. Ruggs can get separation. Now, I think he rounds off his routes a little bit sometimes at the top. I don't think he has that suddenness that you want to see. Like, I don't think he has that yet. I think he absolutely could. I don't think it's like a insurmountable thing for how athletic he is. But when Gruden says like, okay, I he has to earn his targets, and he had COVID all week. Dude, you didn't fucking. It's the same targets he had like 3 weeks ago, dude.
Like, well, instead of doing a screen to Witten, do a screen to Ruggs. How about that?
Exactly.
But then there's multiple things here. Like, because I got into a heated argument with somebody about Ruggs, at like a big Ruggs stan, and
I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, and I'm telling him, I'm like, here's the thing with the Raiders, and it never makes any sense. Okay, they go conservative. Okay. When they shouldn't, and they get aggressive when they shouldn't. Okay. So Cleveland Farrell was like the safest pick. That's what his floor was high, is what they said.
Right.
Okay. Well, you know what? His floor wasn't high enough. But his ceiling's pretty low. So it's like, it's safe. He'll get there, he's gonna be like an 8 sack guy, which he's not, and like, whatever. So, and then instead of being safe and taking the most pro-ready guy,
Justin Jefferson,
CeeDee Lamb, like, fits the system perfect. You take a guy who's, the argument is that, he opens up the offense. Okay. Well, guess what?
True.
It's true, but so does Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of plays this season where Nelson Aguilar's on the field and Ruggs isn't, and he takes the top off the defense. So it's what my point is. It's not the Raiders again. Just they take these guys that like fill a hole. He does. Ruggs fills a hole. He's the guy. He takes the top off the defense. Could you have gotten a guy like that in the second round? Maybe. Like, he's not going to run that fast, but he's not going to, but he might not be far off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the value that they take these guys.
Well, and
it's not the guy's fault. It's not Ruggs' fault, but I think the way that he was used, he's just not being used correctly like he was at Alabama. Like I would love to see a fucking slant.
Something
ever.
Something over the middle of the field.
He ran one and it turned into a pick off of his hands, but he's a rookie. He's got he's gonna take his bumps. And for Gruden, it's funny because what about if Nelson Aguilar drops a 40-yard bomb, okay, he's on the field the rest of the game. Ruggs drops a slant and he's off the field for the whole third quarter. So it's just like the way that he does it with his veterans.
Well, and I was gonna get to that too. So here's the thing: like, why can't he just admit that I don't really fuck with rookies on my offense, my prize offense? Why can't
that's all? That's all.
Just say it, man. Hey, look, they're a rookie. You got to be a veteran to play on my offense right away. Next year, get out front. Because look at Bryan Edwards. Bryan Edwards gets out on the field, runs that cool little fucking swing pass to him, makes a guy miss. And it almost seemed like John Gruden was like taking a piss for a second. He goes, hey, who let Bryan on the fucking field? Get your ass out of here, dude.
Yeah, here comes Zay Jones. Get back in the game.
Zay, come on. What kind of shit is it? Like, he's strangling like Bart Simpson on Greg Olsen. Who told him you could put him in there, man? I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't think he likes what's it called? Like, I don't think he likes rookies. Colton Miller was not. He kind of was going to start. Josh Jacobs, Isaiah Crowell, I guarantee he was going to get a bunch of carries if he didn't blow his fucking Achilles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was going to happen. Jacobs was going to spell him. Trust me. And then these wide receivers, they're not going to come in right away. That's why you had Nelson Aguilar. I think he was going to be the starter the minute he fucking got to the Raiders. I don't even think they took a swing and a miss. I think they really anticipated on him being good. And Waller's the number 1 receiver. That's the other thing I keep seeing. Oh, Ruggs needs more targets. No, I want higher percentage targets. I don't care about more targets. Higher percentage targets.
Get the ball in your playmaker's hands.
Yeah.
That little jet sweep they run, I swear to God, it gets like 8
free yards, free real estate. Every time. Darren Waller's your number one wide receiver. Don't take targets away from him. I actually like to see more go to Renfro, and I like Aguilar. So it's like those guys. I don't think
they really need to do anything this offseason.
It's a ball spreading out offense. That same guy, I think we're talking about the same guy that was talking about like the Ruggs stand and stuff. He was talking about, oh, Ruggs doesn't need to be a high volume catcher in this offense. During the draft, when he was justifying the pick, when everybody hated it, he was like, oh, he just needs to hit a home run every so often. He's good. And now it's like, oh, he needs more targets. All right. Like,
yeah, and it's like, if they re-sign Aguilar, I don't really see them needing to do anything on offense except offensive line, as we talked about.
Offensive line and a backup to Jacobs, like a stable. They need to build a stable around Jacobs.
Dude, like there's like a lot, like Mike Davis from Carolina, sign him, put him behind Jacobs,
just something,
sign him to a couple $1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't have to. I don't have to. Yeah, I don't even think they have to
use a 5th round pick.
Do both. Do both. I want 3. I want 3 good running backs. Yeah.
I mean, some guys have they've outdone their roster spot. Is what, like Jalen Richard. He doesn't offer me much, man. Like, I mean, I know that people say good pass blocker, but so is Jacobs.
Yeah, I think, well, that was the idea. I think Jacobs made enough strides in that this year to be a 3-down back. I don't necessarily want guys to be the 3rd down back. I just want guys who could come in and play a full series and Jacobs sit down for 10, 15 minutes. That's why, and then bring Jacobs into close, because he's a fucking beast when you let him close the game with fresh legs. I like the way they were using him against Miami for a while, just to carry every once in a while, and he was getting like 9 yards of carry. I'm like, this is how you use Josh Jacobs, pass to set up the run. So that's why I disagree with a lot of Raider fans, is that this team is super far away. I don't think they're super far away. One good offseason on defense and a scheme change, and this team can win 10 games without improving on offense. Like, I'm telling you. Now, is John Gruden going to make those simple changes? I don't know. That's what I'm scared of.
I don't know, man. I'm actually I'm a little nervous that this offseason is just going to be insane. Like, he's going to I wouldn't doubt that this is the year they trade their 1st round pick. Like,
I would love that.
I would, dude. I've been saying it I was like, dude, go get DeForest Buckner. Like, go get Jalen Ramsey.
Stephon Diggs. Even if it's Stephon Diggs, like, give me somebody I know is good.
You can only have so many 1st round picks. So now you have 5 guys who around the same time are going to come up on their 5th year options. Now it's looking like we might not even have to worry.
I don't think it's going to be an issue, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was what I was thinking when we drafted him, though. The only guy who's really deserves a 5th year option at this point would be Mullen, and he's not eligible.
2nd round pick. I will give it to him. Colton Miller's going to get a 2nd contract with this team, guaranteed.
That's when's the last time that happened?
Yeah. It's going to happen soon, too.
Well, I mean, is the last time we signed one of our own picks, like a 1st round pick, to a 2nd contract?
It hasn't been.
It's been a while.
No, yeah, I'm trying to think when that was.
I can't think. I mean, I can't even. Namdi.
Did McFadden get a 2nd deal? I think he did.
He did, but it was like a 1 year, $5 million. Yeah, so you're right. McFadden was Namdi a 1st round pick?
He was a late 1st,
and so he got a 2nd contract.
He was one of the Gruden picks. I want to say for trading Gruden. I want to say he was, but So just real fast before we close it up, let's do some offseason moves. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I'm just scared of spending a 1st round pick on a quarterback, because I don't know.
They're not. Well, I'll just end that right now. They're not. So.
Okay. So you don't think so either. I don't want them to, but
they're not in position to get one of the good ones.
No,
they're not going to get. They're not. If they were up there with like Lawrence and Fields and even
that would mean Derek Carr played like shit this year. Then if they were able to play,
Zach Wilson's not going to be to last till 16, and I doubt that Trask will too. Those 4 guys are going to be gone.
Yeah,
you might have a chance at Trey Lance,
but I don't see Gruden wanting him.
But he's a project in the 1st round.
Yeah.
So,
and I love him, but I don't. Gruden. I don't think Gruden wants him like a runner. I don't think he does.
I think your first pick is going to be defensive tackle, or safety. They might safety. I don't think safety either. Who knows? Gruden took Abram, but I think that's the unfortunate part about that draft. You take the 3 least valuable positions on the team.
PFF was right.
Dude,
I can't say they weren't.
Josh Morrow
did
what Cleveland Farrell did his rookie year.
Yeah.
That's my thing, is it's not that valuable of a thing to have an edge setting run guy. Like you can get those guys. The pass rushers are the ones that are hard to find, as Gruden said himself.
He said that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you get rid of Danico Autry and whatever. All of it sucks. But I think you're going to see a really defensive heavy draft, like we talked about, with maybe like what the Panthers did, where it's all
exactly what I want to do.
And it wouldn't surprise me if the best right tackle was there at 16 if the
I
Raiders
was going to say that.
route.
I could see them easily going first round O-line, which I wouldn't hate. I would not
No.
hate it. Like
There's
a lot of fans would.
There's a couple real good guards in the draft this year, and there's a couple like franchise right tackles.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're good at left. I mean, in theory, they're good at left tackle. Like I think we can say right now, that's not a position in need anymore. Like it really
I would like to see all their linemen though. Every single one of them has been pretty bad in the run game lately. I'd like to see all of them. I'd like to see all of them get better. You know.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of it's going to hinge on like what happens with their own free agents. I mean, I talked about it a little bit on Twitter this week. Is there's really like you want to maybe re-sign Nicholas Morrow, but again, fans overvalue their own players. Like Nicholas Morrow does not deserve a lot of money.
No,
like he's not a high priority free agent for me. I would love to upgrade that position. Raekwon McMillan, that was a waste of a trade, you know, because we for some reason we didn't play him until like last week.
Yeah,
and then you know, you got
play with Gaskin. He got that.
You're getting rid of guys like Nevin Loss. Like there's more. The guys leaving the Raiders this year, I'm already happier with the roster based on who's leaving.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They got a lot of guys leaving that have just absolutely see you, Witten. Bye-bye. You know what I mean? So
but he's going to be the coach next. He's going to be the tight ends coach next year.
You're going to see stuff like you're going to see a lot of movement. It's going to be crazy. Like when the season ends, it's going to be crazy. They're going to have like, you know, they might be able to even find a trade partner for Mariota, like so that they don't have to worry about like
maybe,
you know, so that the team doesn't have to worry about claiming him, you know. Yeah. Because he's making $12 million. So I mean, like he's not gonna start for somebody at $12 million, but like Belichick might be like, you know what? Here's a 5th round pick for Mariota.
Yeah, because they're gonna pick high too. So not high, but you know, they're gonna pick like 13.
And then you know, I think that the priority for the Raiders needs to be, you know, get some young talent in there that not from the draft, but maybe from free agency. Like, you know, they tried with Malik Collins. Like, I can't get mad at a move like that.
No.
But taking a swing and a miss on Malik Collins hurts a lot less than swinging and missing on Jason Witten. So they need to focus on the youth.
Well, and it's not even swinging and missing on Jason Witten. It's continuing to take snaps from other people. You know what I'm saying? Like you're taking the snaps from him. Like, I don't care if they pay Jason Witten $4 million to just stand on the fucking sidelines. Whatever. I'd be like, this is dumb. Yeah. But like, as long as Foster Moreau and Waller are getting targets, I'm fine. Whatever. Maybe he's adding some stupid leadership thing. Whatever. But like, yeah, I think you need to. Because I like the young secondary. I don't like the safeties at all, but I like the corners, like the boundary corners.
Well, and you have like Abram, and then you have nobody, so you need to get another safety.
Well, that's why I see them getting a legit ball hawk high. You have to remember our fucking general manager was a safety or corner.
The defensive free agents this season are not great, except at the safety position. So if you're going to spend big in free agency.
Is Anthony? What's his name from Anthony Harris? Dude.
I'm not a huge fan of him, but
I want Marcus May. I want Marcus May.
That's who I want because he's not going to be as expensive as Justin Simmons. So
you don't think so?
I don't think so. I think Simmons is the prize. But I also don't think Simmons leaves Denver. I think they'll lock him up. So.
Yeah, they franchised him. It doesn't make sense to let the guy leave after you franchise him.
Marcus May, he hasn't really been getting along with anybody there, like the coaches and. That's going to be a whole new staff, which means he'll probably walk. So I think he's a good target. And I think that there's guys out there that are they're pass rushers. Like I said something about Matthew Judon, you know what I mean? And somebody was like, oh, he's only an 8-sack guy. Well, yeah, bring him on, dude.
I do have one criticism about Matthew Judon. It's that if you look at it, the Ravens are one of the most blitz heavy teams in the and he gets freed up a lot. And the Raiders, I don't see them bringing in a crazy fucking blitzing crazy.
No, you're getting Gus Bradley or Raheem Morris. So
I'd rather have Raheem Morris. I just want Matthew Judon. It would be the classic Raiders bringing in LaMarcus Joyner to play a different position, bringing in Matthew Judon and telling him, all right, this is you on an island with this tackle. And he's like, wait, where's the linebacker that's going to fucking distract the guy for me?
I wouldn't be mad if they took 3 defensive linemen round 1 through 3.
Yes.
Just take them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Linebacker.
Everybody's they need linebacker. They need a linebacker. They need a linebacker.
I don't think so.
Right? Nope. Littleton with a new coach. Nick's been good and re-signed Morrow, and you're set at linebacker.
Yeah.
And then, safety. Abram, signed, Anthony Harris or Marcus May. I don't think you need to sign a corner.
No. Change him up. Get him in press man. Change it up in scheme.
Yeah. Get Mike Hilton or Brian Poole and put him at the slot corner where their natural position is, and you're good. So, But we'll have to get on again, and we could talk about the offseason a lot.
We will. Well, yeah, because I'm gonna be doing just weekly shows during that time because I can't fucking do 2 a week during the offseason.
Yeah.
There's not enough shit going on. But yeah, definitely. I mean, that's cool. I mean, you're good anytime here you want to vent. So yeah, that's it. I think that's all I got today. You got anything else you want to say? One last take? Nothing.
No, I want to start winning some fucking football games. So
hey,
hopefully the offseason's good.
Settle down, okay? Why don't you settle down with that winning shit, okay? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
yeah. That's asking too much.
We all got too happy, dude. They had to tear us down.
I don't know why it happens to me every year. It's like a fucking illness, dude. Like it just
like I'm all excited. Dude, I start thinking about like playoff scenarios in week 9. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Marcus Johnson was on in like week 7, and he's the most level-minded Raider fan I know. Like, and like I had him on, and we were talking about. Yeah, they'll knock off Tennessee for sure. Yeah, no, they could fuck them. Hey, Pittsburgh, who knows, man?
I tweeted they were better than the Ravens, dude.
I think honestly, a little bit, but no, the Ravens.
I tweeted that, and then I tweeted that we lost 4 straight. The Ravens won 4 straight. So
yeah, you need to get married again. I remember didn't they win when you
that's
got
like I think that's the last time they won. I'm just kidding.
No, but it was like the last time I got super excited around that win.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And then actually, you know what? I think they have a losing record now that you've been a guest on here. That's what sucks. So this is bad.
I came on one time after a win with
the Chargers,
and then
you came off after a loss to a Chargers,
and then now here we are again
after a loss to Miami. So we're 1-2 so far on those losses. And
so I'll say one thing before we're done. I do think Derek Carr is the quarterback next season.
Thank you.
I'm not going to argue that with people this offseason because I don't think it's going to.
They're going to call you a fucking fraud, dude. They're going to be like, "Nah, man, I thought you were on our side."
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think he's like. I don't see an upgrade that's obtainable.
Exactly.
Number one, and I don't see like Gruden going and getting somebody that's worse to run. Like, it's just not going to happen.
I think he really likes Derek Carr.
If they got in a miracle, if like a miracle happened and like, Aaron Rodgers, like in the Packers got in this big fight and they traded him or something, like whatever. But like Carr, they're not going to go get, last year they were saying Jameis Winston, like they're not going to do that.
And I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want that shit, dude.
Derek Carr will be the quarterback, and that's like, maybe it'll be sad to watch again, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just give me a fucking defense that's even average, man. And then we have this conversation. And people act like that's like, oh, it's Carr's fault. It's the defense. No, it's not. Just get an average defense. There's so many games you could have won with an average defense. Average is not hard to ask for. Like,
yeah, I mean, get a defense that gives up 24 points a game. And it's hard because people go, well, the Raiders only scored, 26 or 26, and they lost 31, 26, whatever. The games go differently when you're in a close game and not getting beat by 2 scores because your defense can't stop anybody. Like, I don't know, dude. We can talk about this defense. I think we could have a 12-hour show about what the defense is doing wrong.
But I'm in a good mood. Let's not. But
I mean, like you got guys like Arden Key getting significant snaps, and he has 0 sacks on the
my
season.
guy. Man. That's a guy going to another team. He's gonna go to another team.
I guarantee it, dude. He's gonna be
good.
Like. I do like how like Josh Dubow kept using Shalik Calhoun as like, and he got 2 sacks against the fucking Raiders.
Fumble, sack, and he caused the quarterback to fumble, which Josh Dubow gets really happy about. So
he gets harder to rock when Carr fumbles, dude. That dude's just gets.
I had him on here, man. I had him on here. It was fantastic, dude.
I love Dubow. I love Dubow.
No, he's cool as shit, dude.
People think I'll talk shit to him, and people think like well, they'll be like, oh, like fuck that guy. I'm like, no, I'm like, I like him. Like I think he but like he trolls, like he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
And he's real level-headed when I talk to him. He's like, Carr, he's just the same take. He's like, he's fine. You can win with him if you have a good organization. If you don't, it's not going to be good. That's his take. And you're like, but the people that come at him with their war paint and their fucking black, like, I'm going to fucking shit on this guy today. And then it's like, no, it doesn't work. Dude,
I'm a Raider Nation for lifer.
Yeah. Shield
Are
emoji.
You serious, bro?
Shield Abby.
You must be a new fan that lives in California when they moved to Vegas.
Real fast. What's the worst generic Raider Abby out there?
It's gotta be like anybody that has a player, dude. Right?
I saw. Let me give you another one. The Chucky, the Raider Chucky, emoji.
Yeah,
oh my god, it makes me want to.
Because that's always like,
myself.
Well, if the players executed the fucking play,
that's a Gruden stand, and that's the worst than any stand you could be for the Raiders.
No, dude, I get people arguing with me like I made a list. I'm like, these are the elite. These are the players that are above average on the Raiders team. And like I missed.
You didn't put Jacobs on there. I saw it. You didn't put. Jacobs.
And I'm arguing with a guy. His profile picture is Jacobs. Then some guy was talking about Henry Ruggs. His profile picture is Ruggs. Then some guy's talking to me like, how can you possibly put Waller as above average? I'm like, dude, I didn't say he was not elite. Like, what is wrong with
those guys? Are either 15 years old or 47, and they're no in between.
Bro, like at the player, like if you at the player, he's
oh
not
yeah,
gonna,
that's
I
a
hope
wrap.
he sees. I really hope he sees this.
Yeah, and if the
All
player's
right,
name,
brother.
yeah, all right, man. Let me get you out of here. All right, man. This is Rock Vegas. He's at Fattest Mountain. I'm at Glenn Rockney. Subscribe on iTunes. Leave a review. Appreciate you guys. All right, later.
Later.